Right, welcome to the first episode of my What's the Best Arkham game playthrough, and obviously we're going to start with the first game that was released, and that being Batman Arkham Asylum. I did previously just record this, however the audio was awful, so we're going to go and play. I'll put subtitles on. Hard mode, of course. Weirdly enough, even though this was the first game that was released, it wasn't actually the first Arkham I played. I remember the first Arkham I played being the Arkham City demo, which I think was the courthouse scene where Two-Face as Catwoman. Leave it in the comments if I'm wrong. But I do believe that that is the scene that the demo is based on. And I played Arkham City, and I didn't play Arkham Asylum. I think just before Arkham Knight. I'm not too sure because I don't think, because when I had Arkham City I had it on 360. I just don't remember ever buying Arkham Asylum, but I might be wrong. And then I played that, and then I played Arkham Knight, I think. Then I played Origins because this is on PC, so I just got it on PC. Played it on PC, easier to access and that sort of stuff. But I'll just let this cutscene play out because the Batmobile just looks insane. And I just love Arkham Asylum because it's based off the Grant Morrison comic. You just changed the volume in a second because it's really loud right now. Kevin Conroy, the GOAT. Arkham Asylum. Just looks amazing. Because I just love Grant Morrison's what's it called? Well, it's a good Arkham Asylum, but it's, I say I love it. I can't remember the name. I don't know. A Serious House on Serious Earth. That's it. Don't know why it took me so long to remember it. Officer Balls.
How's the wife and kids? You miss me? Shut it, clown. A lot of people here really want to talk to you.
Officer Balls.
Don't mind walking.
I've said this, obviously I've just recorded it and it's not gone through. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me now, so I'll have to edit that over once I've got the sound sorted. But the graphics hold up really well for this being just a generic PC version, you know. While we're here, I'm gonna turn to about there, like that. That should be a bit better because that was really loud. That's still quite loud. I don't know. I have to sort this out. Just turn on to that there. If I could have done that earlier, I would have, but I can't. But yeah, the graphics look insane. I saw this video like not that long ago saying like how the graphics are really bad, especially on the remastered version, which is on the console. I do agree that the PC looks better because of like the shading and stuff. But like, this guy said Arkham Knight's graphics were bad, and like they still hold up now. So I really don't understand that argument. But yeah, I just do not understand how someone could say that these graphics are bad. I think they just look immense. But I guess it's a bit of like tinted glasses because of how much I love these games. But yeah, I don't know. I think these graphics look good, and I'm sort of like story over graphics to an extent. Obviously, old graphics are sometimes harder to look at and play and enjoy to the same extent. But like these don't look bad, you know. These look good. So I don't know. Obviously, the voice. Another reason I love this is because I love the animated series and the new adventures. It wasn't as good as the animated series, but it was still great. And I just see this as being like a progressive, like a progression of the animated series, following the fans aging. So obviously, this is a more darker tone to what the show ever showed. So I feel like it's like aged with the fans. So I feel that's another thing I love about this because obviously they've got Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, and I think majority of the voice cast are the same ones that were in the animated series. I know. Obviously, the Penguin is Nolan North, I believe, in this game, and he wasn't in the animated series. And then Ice. I was gonna say Iceman then. Bobby from X Men. Mr. Freeze is. I think he's a voice actor for Futurama. I don't think he was in the animated series, but I might be wrong on that. But yeah, no, I think the whole thing's just great. And obviously, I love Arkham Asylum by Grant Morrison. Their story's not exactly the same as this, but you can tell the heavy influence from it. And I think Paul Dini and Tim Bruce were heavily involved. They might have just had their names come up on the credits a second ago, but I'm sure they're really involved in this one because I think Paul Dini did Asylum City, and then Jeff Johns was heavily involved in Night because Dini had a different idea to follow up from City to Night, if I'm not mistaken. But I'll look more into that when we get onto Arkham Knight and stuff. Officer Balls. Do we find out what happens to his eye? I don't know. But like, I just love this game. I love all the games. There's obviously like, I do wish we had another game between Origins and City, which wasn't Shadow. I still think Shadows is great because I love the Harvey Dent Two-Face story, but something to like involve the Bat family a bit more because obviously, spoiler alert, but with Dick Grayson being part of is it the Rat King was his name, part of the Rat King gang. Um, I don't know if he goes straight into being Nightwing because he's so old then that he must maybe go straight into Nightwing. But it would have been cool to see if he was Robin, more of Jason, because obviously we know he was captured here by Joker, and you see where he was captured in this game before we even know about Jason. But like, it would have been cool to see what was happening with him because it must have been during this sort of time. So that means Tim would have been between this game and City, and he's quite old in City. So I really don't know. I think that's the one thing that's done sort of poorly in this game is how they've done Robin. But I think because of the dark and graphic tones, I don't know if they didn't want to do a young Robin, but who knows? I don't really know. But that's the one thing I would have loved to see covered in like a Origins prequel-y sort of style. Because I really enjoyed Arkham Origins. I know some people love it, some people hate it. But yeah, the graphics in this game are just not bad, are they? Like, it's not the remastered version. This is still was it 2008, 2009 this was released? So, like, it holds up massively. At least in my opinion. Like, look at that. Like, that does not look bad. I know the faces are a bit generic. They all have that same sort of shaded out eyes, pale skin look. Majority of the time, you know. So, they all have the same, like, the same design behind the masks. I think he has the same one as well. Yes, it's all pretty basic. I don't know. He might have the same face, but without them, he's got a different face. But same face. See what I mean? Obviously, this game's a lot older, so what can you really say? But yeah, it's a great game. And obviously, I keep saying obviously, but the designs are fantastic. Like they've kept Joker tall and intimidating. And I've got to say, Mark Hamill was obviously without. But Kevin Conroy, I think's not even arguably the best Batman. I think people can have their say and stuff, but I don't know if it's 100% agreed that Mark Hamill's the best Joker for some people. I know loads of people like Heath Ledger. I thought his performance was great. I don't see it being properly Joker, but this Joker sounds fantastic because he's tall, he's intimidating. Obviously, in the comics, he is tall. In Grant Morrison's comic, he's not tall, which is interesting because he's tall, but he wears stilts, doesn't he, like in his shoes or something, which is awesome. But like this Joker is just fantastic because you can see he's actually violent. He's not just like all talk, you know, like, which is just great. And obviously we'll see that fairly soon. And Bill Finger, not just Bob Kane. This was before they had to put his name in it. Needs to get credited more. Obviously the voice acting is just fantastic in this by everyone involved. I don't think there's really a bad casting. And not really many bad designs. I think the only design that's noticeably poor in this game, in my opinion, is the Scarecrow. But again, that's quite similar to the animated series to New Adventures, because obviously in New Adventures, the designs sort of worsened, became a bit more like linear and a bit basic. But Scarecrow was like the complete opposite. He went from sort of looking camp like he does in this one, not camp, but like in the animated series, I say it was a bit, but like not intimidating, a bit goofy looking, to a really intimidating character, and he did that in Arkham Knight. And I'd say it's the same with this one with Jim Gordon. This looks like they've got the character model and they've just put the animated series design bang on it, but his head just doesn't look right to me. Like the shape and the designs just looks really animated compared to the rest, which don't look super animated. Um, but like Jim Gordon and Arkham Knight, I think looks fantastic. But yeah, they're the only two designs in this game which I think are really like, like a bit 50-50. But like other than that, I think all the designs look fantastic. I love the Batman costume in this game. I think the earlier games are the better suits, like the main suits. I don't mean like the additional ones you can select, but yeah, I do love this design. And in a second, we're going to see what I mean about the Joker actually being intimidating. Which again, I guess is why people like Heath Ledger, because he actually acts on his words, like the way the Joker acts. That here, like to see he's actually violent and you see him killing and doing stuff like that is just it's just something, isn't it? Like it's cool to see him represented that way. And Harlequin's awesome to be in this because obviously she was created through the animated series creators Tim Bruce and Paul Dini. I think it was Tim Bruce that created her, but obviously Paul Dini's the writer, so brought her into this. So to have her in this as well is just awesome. And this is where we first see the combat, which is revolutionary in games for this time. Only thing about this is I'm playing hard mode, so you're not going to see when um, you're not going to see the things above their heads. The only thing is odd is that it's a bit limited compared to the other ones, but we hadn't seen the other ones yet because they were future installments. But the sounds they make when you hit them in like the third time pattern sounds like you've knocked them out when you haven't yet, because it's that really like loud like smacking noise when like here I'm obviously gonna knock them out. That sounded quieter than the smack the third time, but the roundhouse kick is like the go-to on this knockout, isn't it? Let's get ready. But yeah, just the combat on this is just, I know it's a bit button mashing in Arkham Asylum. Well, it's button mashing in all three, but well, all four because we're playing four. But it's a bit more so in this one. Oh, what am I doing now? Oh, I couldn't counter. That's the other thing. When you're mid knockout, I think in Arkham Knight at least, you can counter while doing this. But if you're locked into this, you can't counter. Here we go. Oh, bosh. Right. But yeah, see that? It does look like they just got a model for the characters and just slap the animated series around it, because the head looks really wrapped and basic to an extent, doesn't it?
Don't make promises you can't keep, Bats. I'm in control of the asylum. You're not going anywhere I don't want you to.
See what I mean? The Joker's really intimidating in this game.
If you think I'll let you run. Always with the hero speed. Ooh, I'm getting bored of watching you.
I'm bored of watching you. Right, let's go. Ah, that's the other pet peeve. I hate how Batman runs in this game. I don't know if other people agree, but it just looks wrong. I guess it's because you don't really see Batman ever run, but yeah. I just feel like he would just walk like this to most places, or like sort of faster. If he's like escaping a build, like burning building or explosion or something, it'd make more sense. But like, it just doesn't look right. It looks like he's constipated. See there, that sounds like you've knocked them out. Ooh. But yeah, also the designs of the inmates are very, very, very basic. Wrong way. Not basic, but like they're repetitive. It's like the bald guy and then like the mohawk guy, and the bald guys all just look like a Victor Zaz knockoff, which I'm not complaining about because I love the design of Victor Zsasz, but yeah,
Joker's escaped custody.
bit basic.
Running free in Arkham. Commissioner Gordon is safe.
And also with the Arkham Knight, you get a DLC to Batgirl. Can't have been that like that much pre this because she's Oracle now. So yeah, it's odd. It's odd. So it's like there must have been such a time jump between Arkham Origins to this, you know.
Wait here.
Can't. He'll kill Mike if he sees anyone trying to
But yeah,
get
Victor
close.
Zsasz, I just love his character. I think he first appeared in Shadow of the Bat issue 1. I think I own it just because I love him as a character. I think this is a decent design for him. Obviously, they're trying to show off. Well, that would be his how he's contained, obviously. But they're trying to show off his scars, where obviously he marks each victim he kills, which is awesome. It's a cool little detail. But I think the design's a bit basic, and he looks animated again compared to some of the other characters. And I'm going to keep saying that because it's an old game. But yeah, just like these guys who have the same face, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just love Zaz as a character. I think he's really, really cool. Let's get up here. Also, the way he says if he sees a Batman, he'll kill him. He he must have seen me up there, you know. So that's the one thing I don't like. There's like me being pedantic, you know. So it's just a bit stupid. But yeah, yeah, weird nonetheless. Because like he's making an argument about that, and then all of a sudden, like doesn't do anything when he probably does see you, you know. I do like that they introduced Harlequin into a more of like a heavy role because I don't know, she's just a cool character. She's not, she's really oversaturated in media and comics now, I'd say, but back then she wasn't too involved. Um, so it's great to see her in a more detailed role of who she is and how she's involved with the Joker, you know. So I thought that was really cool. And then her progression throughout each game is just fantastic. But yeah, I think they did really well in giving a detailed look into her when there wasn't really much media around her. Now obviously there's so much there's like heavily oversaturated. Not saying I disagree with it or anything. Like I'm not a fan, but like I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan either. So it's just very, very oversaturated with her shows and the amount of comics she's getting. Good, like that's good, but like it doesn't. It's a whole different category of character and like genre character now, isn't she? In the sense of she now like I've not read a lot of them. I know she's not like an anti-hero, but she's become one of her own, which is good. She's like come away from the Joker, but like there's so many different stories now. I've sort of lost count because I don't know what I'm trying to keep up with the current Batman run, but I don't know where she falls because the Joker's just recently had, or say recently, the Three Jokers storyline, not Three Jokers, the Joker Year 1, which integrated the Three Jokers storyline into, oh god, here's the first Riddler trophy, which integrated like the Three Jokers into the origins of the Joker, which I didn't love and not a lot of people loved because it's sort of, it gave an origin to someone who don't want an origin to overly. But yeah, so I don't really know where she falls in the current continuity because I don't know when she was last seen in the comics. But yeah, like back in early 2000s, she wasn't really in too much media because having been introduced in the animated series, there wasn't anything really before them. Am I going to go in there and help him? Well, knowing I just said anyone in there's dead, I doubt it, you know. But I'll do my best. Right. Let's go through it. But yeah, no, I thought they did really well representing characters that were maybe not, either not represented massively or hadn't previously been represented well in media prior. So like, for example, the animated series did really well with every character, but the live action didn't really. So you look at like Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, Bane especially. Well, I say Mr. Freeze and Bane especially. Mr. Freeze I don't think is in this game mode. He's in City, but um, you've got like the Batman and Robin Joel Schumacher movies where you've got Riddler, Two-Face. I didn't mind Jim Carrey's Riddler, but they were both trying to outperform each other in like a Jack Nicholson performance, which just didn't work for the character. It worked for Joel Schumacher's universe, but it didn't work as a character sort of design. So I love the Riddler in this game, even though he's annoying with all the challenges. Two-Face is fantastic in the Arkham universe, I think, personally. Mr. Freeze is fantastic, and Bane's really well done in this game. Personally, I think it's really good representation. Again, he's a bit of like a dumb brute, but like he's more intimidating, you know? Like, obviously, like he's nowhere near Nightfall Bane in any sense. Nor is he City of Bane really. Like, there's no sort of... Like, he's good, but he's not great, you know? But, like, I still feel like they've represented these characters a lot better in this sort of media than they have in any other media prior to this, not including comics. So, I know some people like Tom Hardy's Bane. I personally don't love it. He gets the sophisticated side of Bane well, but, like, it's just Christopher Nolan for you, isn't it? Making it quite realistic, which isn't a problem, but for some people they love that, for some people they don't. I'm one of those people that probably don't love it. I much prefer the comic-based one, but I guess it is hard to translate comics into real life. But you never know. I'm excited to see what James Gunn does with the DC universe. So yeah, it's exciting. And yeah, here we go with the big enemies. I'm not someone that hates it. I know it's quite repetitive, but I'm really not someone that like disagrees with the design, because obviously what they do is quite repetitive. They pick things up, they throw it, or they charge at you. But again, I don't see it as like a massive problem, because before this it wasn't really a thing that would overly happen, you know. So, but yeah, I can see why people get annoyed with these characters. Ooh, I'm gonna try and get him to run into it. Oh, that's nowhere, and that has not hit me. We need his heart to fail. Go on. But yeah, I feel like for this first like section of the game, it does really well to introduce the mechanics, what you're likely to come up against, the designs, and the setting. Because I know it's quite a basic setting, but it's detailed in the same sense. Because like this is the 2009 one. I know I keep going on about the graphics, but the setting is good for it being like a game that's old, you know. At least in today's standards, like you get games like Gotham Knights, which colors may be good, but like the mechanics and gameplay was awful. So, like I think it was taken for granted, especially with how good City and Night is. I think this game's overlooked massively. And here's another pet peeve of mine. In a second, I'll wait for it to happen, but yeah. So like here we're gonna see like he's gonna say I'll give you this one for free, right? With the feats of Batman in the Arkham universe, I know we haven't been shown that yet, but knowing what Batman can do, why would he not knock him off and then jump after him and catch him? Because I'm sure that he could easily do that. Like, knock him off, catch him, grapple up, or like knock him off and grapple and like grab him or something. Like that's the only thing. Like knowing the feats he has done, surely he could knock him off and jump down there and catch him. But that might just be me being pedantic and looking into it too much. But like, yeah, that thing's always bothered me at the start of this game. It's just like, it could easily have just not, none of this stuff could have happened if he just knocked him off and caught him. And obviously that's quite a pessimistic way of looking into any story. But yeah, anyway, so that's the end of the first episode of looking into the Arkham games, which one's the best. Obviously this is Arkham Asylum. I'm going to try and make this series like, make a couple episodes a week so I can get through the games a lot quicker, because it's going to be hard to get through Arkham Asylum, Origins, City and Night if I don't regularly record and play it. So yeah, until the next one guys, make sure to leave your thoughts on this game in the comments below and tell me your favourite moment in this game. And yeah, until the next one, like, subscribe and share this video, and I'll hopefully see you sometime else this week. But until then, have a great day and peace out.